Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I wanted to share this because I get a lot of branding questions every day. I have a lot of people who send me emails, DM messages, and just so people know, I don't really check my DM messages like that. If you get a message in there, you get your message to me through there, it's probably going to tell you to email me because email is the best way to get in touch with me. If you need to get in touch with me, hello@onyxqueenmedia.com. Okay, so I get a lot of branding questions, and here are, to be honest, there's so many different mistakes that people make in the branding game, and I want to point out 3 big mistakes that people make in branding. If I think of any other ones as I go along, I'll share some others, but these are some big ones. This one drives me crazy. Okay, this one is frequently changing your brand message. Okay? When you keep on changing your brand message, you keep on changing the position of where your brand is in the market, you are confusing people. I cannot tell you how much this happens. You have to stop confusing people. Now, there are different aspects to branding. Okay, there's the branding as in, putting together your collateral pieces so that your logos match and your websites match and your business cards are, everything is seamless. When you get a business card from me, it looks exactly like my website. My website colors, all of that, that's a part of branding, right? There's the other piece of branding of how you position yourself in the market. What are people saying about your business when you are not in the room? That leaves a lasting impact, right? So if you are leaving a lasting impact in one way, and then you come back 3 months later and then it's another way, and then you come back later on in the year and it's something else, choose a position that your brand is going to stand in. Choose the message that your brand is going to stand for, okay? And rock with that. Because when you keep choosing things that are different every few months, it confuses people. It confuses potential consumers. And it also makes your company look unstable. If I come to your Instagram page or your Facebook page, especially Instagram, because Instagram is in a grid, so you can kind of see a bunch of things at one time. With Facebook, you kind of have to scroll, to see the next post and the next post. But Instagram is a tell-all because you can see at least the first 9 posts. And if they just look crazy, and by crazy, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to what it is that you are doing. Now, I know that my Instagram page and a few of my clients' Instagram pages are very uniform. I do the hopscotch effect where every other post is a branded post, meaning it has my brand colors. My brand colors are black and gold and teal. Okay? So I know that every other post is going to have something with my brand colors, that sort of thing. So it's very recognizable, and it's called the hopscotch effect, right? Now, I don't do the hopscotch effect every single time. I do it 90% of the time, but I am very intentional about what I post, when I post, how I post, the look of it, or however. Now, I know that everybody's not going to do that. I don't expect everybody to do what I'm doing, But the reason why I choose to do this is because I know that at one point when I first started out, especially on Instagram, my Instagram was all over the place. And I'm talking like, I guess maybe 7 years ago. When I first started on Instagram, I'm not going to say just me, we as a people, we didn't know what we were doing. Instagram was all about pictures. Now Instagram has become all about video. It's a totally different world than it used to be, right? But we were just throwing things up there because it was a new service and it was like, ooh, taking off, let's do this. So it was all over the place. And I realized that when I put things together in a more thoughtful way, like I really thought out and planned out what I was going to post, I saw people responding way differently. And I saw the interactions began to shift into a more positive way. So I do the hopscotch method. But like I said, if you choose to do that, it really does make your page stand out. I used to do one time, I used to put quotes all on one side. So I would do a quote and then I would do 2 regular posts and then a quote, 2 regular posts. So by the time you do 10, 20 of them, you got all of these amazing quotes going on down on one side. Now, I have seen some businesses do that where they put all of their tips and suggestions every 3 posts. So they do 2 posts, and then the 3rd post is something branded and a tip from their business. They do 2 more posts, and then that 3rd post is something branded from their business. And it's all going down on one side. Sometimes it's in the middle. Sometimes it's diagonal. You can do so many different things, okay? But what you want is to have some sort of, not necessarily symmetry. I'm definitely a symmetry girl, but you want to have some sort of rhyme or reason to what it is that you're doing. People need to understand, what do you stand for? You know what I mean? What is your position in the market? What is your brand message, right? So don't keep changing up your brand message. Stick to something and rock with that, okay? Now, here's another one that I always see. People whose brands are in every single category. They're trying to please everybody. You cannot please everyone, right? You can't. You can't do the blanket thing and please everyone. If you're a lifestyle brand, stick with the lifestyle. Okay? If you're a religious brand, stick with the religious. Right? If you're a food brand, stick with the food. Right? It doesn't mean that you don't have other talents. It means that you're picking a focal point and you're going to rock with that. So don't overextend your brand into all these markets that have nothing to do with you. If you are part of a market that has more of a medical background, if you're going to do sports, it has to make sense, right? Sports and medical, okay, put that together and make it make sense, right? Food, if you're going to put that together, make it make sense together. You can't just, you have to have something that explains how this works, right? Because the other day I saw you were wearing a medical jacket. Now the next day I see you are in the kitchen calling yourself a chef. And that's okay, but you have to put it together. Are you doing sports nutrition? Create a story. This is one thing that I always say, is that I help companies, individuals tell their brand story. So it has to make sense, because if it's not making sense to you and it's not making sense to the people closest around you, then you're going to put out and spend all this money to market this brand and it doesn't make sense. Right? So don't overextend your brand into all these other areas that have nothing to do with your business, because you want to get this money, that money, that. Trust me, niche money is very good money, and people pay top dollar when you niche down into an area that is so specific, and people are like, whoa. They will pay you more, and they will pay you top dollar because they want someone who is who has this expertise that not everyone has. So don't spread yourself too thin. Okay? All right. I'm trying to think of some other things. Oh, this is another one that I see a lot. When you are looking into the breakdown of your brand, when you're making brand decisions, right? Making decisions for brands is something I do every day. I have to look at a brand and see where it is in the market to see how strong it is. Who is the competition? Who is going to make it very hard for that brand to exist? Where I can come back and I can tell my clients, listen, you've got Acme company over here, XYZ company over here. If they really get cranking in this area right here, they will crush you. So here is a plan of action for you that you can move around, in the market system out there and not get crushed by somebody else. Because let's be for real, no company is recreating the wheel. You know what I mean? Wheels have been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're going to continue to be that way. There's not going to be a new square wheel. There's not going to be a new rectangle wheel. Wheels are going to be round because that's how they work. So my thing is, what is the quality of that wheel? What is the quality of what you're bringing to the table? Right? So when you're making decisions about your brand, make it based on your analytics. Make it based on, I have done the research of this brand who is similar to mine. I have done the research of that brand over there who is also similar to mine. And based on my market research, these are the decisions and the moves that I'm going to make for my brand. When you start doing things from an ego perspective, that's where things go bad. I've dealt with that so many times in my business where you have folks coming from an ego perspective instead of from the perspective of facts and truth. Right? They need to be seen here. They need to be seen there. They need to be in the, whatever, in and on the scene. And you don't even know the first thing about being in and on the scene because you've never done it before. You gotta look at your market. That's the market that you claim that you want to be a part of. Look at the market and see how are the other people doing. Because chances are, here's a major key. Chances are, if your competition, who has been out there for a long time, hasn't done something or hasn't delved into something that has to do with your brand, it's probably because it's extremely hard to do, or they've tried it and they've failed several times. So pay attention to the things, not only that the other companies are doing, but pay attention to what they're not doing. Because that is going to help you as well. If they're not delving into certain parts of your particular genre, find out why. Is it overly expensive? Is it something that they tried but they only broke even on? They wasn't making money on it? Pay attention. People always say, pay attention to what the competition is doing. Yeah, pay attention to what they're doing, but pay attention to what they don't do either. Because that can help you. It can help you if there's something that may be a waste of time, because maybe they've already tried it. Let the other people try it and fail and waste their money before you waste yours, right? Common sense, okay? And watch the things that they don't do as far as helping customers, right? Or helping clients. If they are not very good at helping customers and clients with a specific thing, then you better make sure that your brand is excellent at it. So whatever that company is bad at, make sure that you are excellent at it. And that's going to bring you business as well. Okay? Let me try to... I know there was another one in my head that I wanted to think of. Oh boy. Oh, understanding your customer. It baffles me. It baffles me how much people go into business not understanding their target audience. That is probably one of the most frustrating things I think I've ever seen. And, when it comes to business, is people not understanding the audience for which they are starting this brand or this product or service to begin with. Understand what your audience needs. Understand what your audience requires. I know that I exist because my audience doesn't have time. Okay? So what I do over at Onyx Queen Media, my clients don't have time. My clients don't have time to research. They don't have time to post. They don't have time to do any of that stuff. They don't have time to do anything that has to do with technical tasks. Analytical tasks are things that I would pretty much say 90% of my clients do not like to do, are not capable of doing because it's just not their thing. So they hire my company to do that for them. So we become the arms and the legs for them to extend into other places for which they may not have the expertise. It's okay not to know things, but you also have to know if you don't know something, then you got to learn how to delegate. All right? So if you don't know something and you figure like, oh, this is going to take me so long, and you're wasting time, because here's the thing, if you don't know something and you do it wrong, you're going to waste money. So you might as well pay someone who knows how to do it out the gate, right? Because that's going to save you money and it's going to save you time. And really, it's going to give you back some time that you can work on your business. We always say we're in the background while you run your business in the foreground. Right? So run your business on the front end. We will be on the back end, making sure that everything is running smoothly. Anything that you need, we're here to back you up. Okay, you guys, I gave you some tips. Rewind this, listen to it again. Maybe I'll come with some more tips, maybe on the marketing side, but I'm telling you, know your brand well. Rehearse your 30-second elevator pitch. If you were taking the elevator from the 10th floor to the lobby and there was this branding genius in the elevator with you, one of the sharks from Shark Tank are in there, what is going to be your elevator pitch? Know your audience, know your brand, and make sure that it is something that the people, that your target audience can actually use. Because if it's something that is going to be so hard to scrape from the bottom up, you will be wasting precious time. Sometimes a brand is simple. Sometimes it's just a simple service that just helps people. You know what I mean? A wheelbarrow. I don't know who came up with the wheelbarrow, but thank God they did. When you're doing yard work, you throw everything in there and you can move it from place to place. You know what I'm saying? The shopping cart seems so crazy, but it works. Sometimes it's just that simple. Don't overthink your brand and keep switching up the message. No. Settle in on what it is that you want to do. Make sure there is a market for it. Do your research and then execute from there. All right, you guys, that's all I got for you today. Like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Meet me over on Instagram at Onyx Queen Media. We can connect over there. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.